Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's pick a pile reading is all about the opportunities you're about to attract. There are 3 piles for you to choose from. From left to right we have piles 1, 2, and then 3. The timestamps for each pile will be in the description below. Hello pile 1, welcome to your reading. Let's jump right into it. There's a strong message of reclaiming personal power coming through here. With authority as your main energy, you're stepping into a phase where you stop asking for permission, emotionally, professionally, even spiritually. You're becoming the one who calls the shots in your own life. This doesn't mean you'll suddenly bulldoze through situations, but it does suggest that your next opportunity will require you to stand firm in your truth and take the lead, even if others around you hesitate. This opportunity is tied to your ability to embody presence. You're being asked to move like someone who already knows their worth, not someone waiting for validation. That energy is magnetic. It shifts conversations, it opens doors that were previously closed, and you may find yourself in spaces where your confidence is the very thing that attracts the chance to level up, whether that's through career, status, or influence. Your future self is affirming. When you stop playing small, the world adjusts. The moment you decide to step fully into your voice, the path ahead begins to reorganize itself, and what you attract next, it's going to reflect that boldness back to you. This is a wake-up moment. You're coming out of a period of emotional stagnation, where everything felt muted or uninspired. Maybe you were so deep in your own thoughts or past disappointments that you couldn't even see the options in front of you. But now, something shifts. Suddenly you're seen with new eyes. An opportunity that you once ignored, overlooked, or didn't feel ready for, now feels right. This isn't just a change of attitude, it's a full emotional realignment. You're realizing that not every offer is going to come gift-wrapped with neon signs. Some of the most important invitations come quietly, and now that you're paying attention, you're able to receive. There's a sense that something is coming in, maybe an offer, maybe a conversation, and this time you won't miss it. Your future self is emphasizing, the past doesn't define you anymore. Just because something didn't work out before doesn't mean it won't now. Your energy has shifted, your awareness is clearer, and what's coming next, it meets you where you are now, not where you used to be. This is the breakthrough. Mentally, energetically, and maybe even through an actual conversation, clarity is arriving fast. An idea sharpens, a truth is spoken, or a decision becomes crystal clear. This card often brings a defining moment where fog lifts and direction returns. You know what needs to be said, what needs to be done, and what needs to be released. The opportunity you're about to attract hinges on communication and clarity. It could involve a contract, a pitch, a decision being made in your favor, but what's more important is that you finally feel aligned in your message. You're not doubting yourself the way you once did. That confidence sharpens your words and your presence and your ability to cut through the noise. This moment may be uncomfortable at first. Truth always carries weight, but it will be freeing. The people and opportunities that show up next will recognize your clarity and respond to it. And that's how the right things and people start finding you faster. This is the slow build finally starting to pay off. You've been doing the work, even if no one noticed, even if it felt repetitive, even if you weren't sure it would lead anywhere. But this card says your discipline is about to be rewarded. Something you've been steadily building is about to open into tangible opportunity, one with longevity. It won't be flashy, but it will be solid. This may be a job offer, a financial shift, or an upgrade to your routine that changes everything. And the reason it's coming now, you prove to the universe and to yourself that you could stay committed even without instant results. That consistency is being reflected back to you now. Don't expect it to feel overwhelming or too good to be true. This is more like a quiet confirmation. Yes, this is working. And from here, the next steps only get stronger. This is where discernment becomes crucial. There may be someone, or even a part of you, that carries a sharp tongue or critical energy. Be mindful of how this opportunity challenges your internal authority. Are you leading with clarity or with fear? Are you speaking truth or seeking control? This card asks you to soften where needed without losing your power. There's also a caution here around external voices that may try to undermine your sense of direction. You might encounter someone who tries to overanalyze or downplay your progress, especially if your growth threatens their comfort. Your future self wants you to be firm, but not rigid. Stay in your truth without falling into emotional detachment or defensiveness. This part of the reading is about owning your voice without using it as armor. You don't need to over-explain yourself, just lead with quiet authority. That's where your next opening lies. This final card reveals the deeper layer of the opportunity you're stepping into, and it comes with healing. You've known what it's like to be on the outside, to feel like you didn't have enough, either money, support, recognition, and this next phase doesn't erase that past, it begins to rewrite it. You're stepping into a season of visibility, stability, and renewed self-worth. You may still carry old fears of being abandoned, of losing what you've worked for, of never quite belonging, but this card shows that what you're attracting now is a mirror to your resilience. You're being offered something that finally says, you're in, you're supported, and you're not alone. This is more than just a job or opportunity. It's a chance to reclaim the parts of yourself that once felt excluded from success. Your future self is affirming, what's coming next doesn't just change your circumstances, it shifts how you see yourself. So what's the opportunity you're attracting? Clarity, stability, and a chance to lead from your truth without shrinking and without asking. This is your invitation to step fully into the life you were always meant to claim. So that's what I'm getting for pile 1. If this resonated for you, please let me know in the comments, and of course, like and subscribe. See you next time. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's jump right into it. The energy of moving on is less about running away and more about moving towards something that finally feels aligned. Your next opportunity will require a clear departure from an old pattern, maybe a job, a connection, or even a mindset that no longer is supporting your growth. This isn't a frantic escape. It's a quiet but powerful choice. You've outgrown a version of yourself, and now the path forward is becoming clear. There's a sense here that you've been emotionally or mentally stuck for a while. Maybe the door's been open this whole time, but only now are you fully ready to walk through it. That shift, that conscious decision to move in a new direction, becomes the exact energy that magnetizes your next opportunity. Your clarity becomes the catalyst. Your future self is confirming you don't need to force this change. Just by choosing to stop carrying what's no longer yours, you're already inviting in something much more grounded and aligned. This is your breakthrough moment, a clean cut, a bold truth, or a conversation that flips your perspective and clears the path ahead. The opportunity you're attracting is coming because you finally made space for it, and that space was created through honesty, possibly painful, but absolutely freeing. This card often shows up when we finally stop avoiding a decision or denying what we've known deep down. Whether it's a new job, a personal boundary, or a powerful yes to yourself, this clarity activates everything. You're speaking differently, thinking differently, and people are noticing. That's what opens the door to what's next. More than anything, this card reminds you that your mind is your tool now, not your trap. The way you're thinking and communicating is sharper, cleaner, and far more effective. You're no longer tangled in confusion, you're cutting through it. This next chapter is all about self-possession, financial independence, emotional self-sufficiency, and personal sovereignty. This is the energy you're stepping into. The opportunity ahead will match that frequency. It's not coming to rescue you, it's meeting you because you've already been doing the work. This could look like a promotion, a solo project, or even simply a lifestyle shift that reflects your values more authentically. Either way, the core of it is autonomy. You're no longer waiting for someone else to validate your worth. You're living it, and that's drawing abundance towards you. There's grace and ease here, but make no mistake, you've earned this. Your ability to invest in yourself, even when it wasn't easy or visible to others, is paying off. Your future self is already walking in the rewards of your discipline and self-respect. This is the moment where indecision finally breaks. For a while, you may have felt caught between options, afraid to choose and afraid to be wrong, but now the emotional fog is lifting. You're not frozen anymore, you're ready to choose and to act, and to stop negotiating with what you already know isn't working. This card reverse shows a clear pivot. You're no longer avoiding the truth, and that courage is what draws your next opportunity to you. You may not have all the details yet, but you have enough to move, enough to decide, enough to say, this is the direction I'm heading now. Your future self wants you to know, Even if this choice feels scary, it's the right one. This isn't recklessness, it's release. And what comes next is clarity, not chaos. This card reverse suggests that for a while, your intuition was being ignored or drowned out, maybe by fear, outside opinions, or old conditioning. The opportunity you're attracting now is a direct result of you tuning back in. You're listening to yourself again, and not to the noise. And even if that's still a work in progress, the shift is happening. There's a message here to trust what doesn't make logical sense right now. You might not be able to explain why you're drawn to a certain path, or why you repelled by something that used to feel safe. But that's the point. You're not leading from logic anymore. You're leading from alignment. Your future self is nodding. Don't wait for permission to follow your own knowing. It's already been guiding you. And the more you trust it, the more clearly the right opportunities reveal themselves. No forcing, no convincing, no second guessing. This last card is your wake-up call, but not the loud, dramatic kind. It's the subtle nudge you've been feeling for a while. There's been a resistance to fully stepping into a new identity, or maybe a fear that you're not quite ready to rise. But you are. The opportunity ahead won't just upgrade your life, it'll require you to upgrade how you see yourself. Judgment Reversed is about answering a calling you've been avoiding. It's the version of you that already exists, the confident, capable, higher aligned self asking to be let in. And now, finally, you're starting to say yes. Not perfectly, but honestly. This opportunity may ask you to leave behind an old version of yourself entirely. That's scary, but it's necessary. You're not who you used to be, and that's exactly why what's coming next is going to feel so right. What's the opportunity you're attracting? Clarity, self-trust, and the kind of personal power that only comes from choosing yourself completely. What's ahead isn't about starting over, it's about finally stepping into who you've been becoming all along. So that's what I'm getting for pile 2. If this resonated for you, please let me know in the comments, and of course, like and subscribe. See you next time. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's jump right into it. The energy surrounding this pile is complex, but also deeply revealing. Deception and envy doesn't mean the opportunities ahead are false or negative. It means you're beginning to see through illusions, either your own or those projected onto you. The blessing here is clarity. You're learning to distinguish between what truly supports you and what only pretends to. And from that awareness, you're about to attract something more genuine, emotionally stable, and aligned with your real values. There may have been a person or situation that made you doubt your own perception, someone who smiled when secretly competing, or even a role you played that no longer fits. But now you're stepping out of that dynamic. And as you release the need to appease or impress others, a new sense of personal power emerges. That's the magnet for your next opportunity, your full authenticity. Your future self is reminding you, the truth always clears the path. And by seeing what's real, especially about yourself, you make space for what actually is meant for you, not just what looks good on the surface. This card speaks to emotional mastery, calm, grounded, and wise energy. You're attracting an opportunity that will ask you to lead from your emotional intelligence, not your reactions. This could be a role that puts you in a position of influence or support, whether others look to you not just for answers, but for stability. You'll be seen as the calm in the storm and the one who holds space with strength. There's a mature, healing energy here. You might find yourself stepping into a mentorship role, leadership position, or a creative opportunity that allows you to express deep emotional insight. And the reason it's coming now is because you've done the inner work. You've learned how to sit with discomfort without being consumed by it, and that energy is incredibly attractive. This is a chance to show up as your fullest, most emotionally attuned self. Not in spite of your feelings, but because of them. You're not here to suppress, you're here to channel, and this opportunity makes space for that. You're waking up. This card reversed is like a mental and emotional alarm clock going off. You've been sitting in a state of emotional numbness or detachment, maybe protecting yourself, maybe waiting for something to change, and now you're ready to re-engage. Something that once felt out of reach or invisible is becoming crystal clear, and this time you're paying attention. This shift opens a portal. A chance or offer you've once overlooked or weren't ready to receive is circling back around. But it won't wait forever. The key is that you're not in the same headspace anymore. You've healed and you've grown. You're seen with new eyes, and because of that, you can actually act when the moment comes. This isn't about regret, it's about readiness. You weren't wrong for pausing before, but now you know you're ready, and what's about to show up reflects that shift perfectly. There's a strong, forward-looking energy here. You're no longer stuck in reaction mode. You're stepping into strategy. This opportunity is about expansion, planning, and choosing a direction that broadens your world. Whether that's through career, relocation, creative growth, or a new venture, you're thinking bigger, much bigger. This card suggests you've already done some of the groundwork. You've thought about what you want, maybe even envisioned the outcome. Now the question becomes, are you willing to leave your comfort zone to pursue it? The answer, according to your future self, is yes. And not only are you ready, you're equipped. This energy is bold, it's visionary, and it's reminding you that your next opportunity will match the size of your decision. So aim high, the window is open. Now this is where it all pays off. You're stepping into a phase of increased independence, self-worth, and tangible abundance. The opportunity you're about to attract is more than just financially rewarding, it's emotionally validating. You feel proud of yourself, seen, respected, and most importantly, free. There's luxury in this card, not necessarily in wealth, but in autonomy. You're no longer making decisions out of desperation. You're making them from a place of power. You've been patient, you've been intentional, and now you're being met with something that matches your energy. Your future self is enjoying the results of what you're manifesting now. Whether it's a business, a creative project, or a job that finally respects your value, it's rooted in the truth that you've earned this. You don't need to chase it. You are it. This final card is a soft nudge, a reminder not to give everything away in the process. As you step into greater abundance and visibility, it's easy to fall into over-giving, especially if you're used to proving your worth through service. This is your cue to protect your energy, your time, and your resources. There's an opportunity ahead that will require you to balance nurturing others with nurturing yourself. You might be stepping into a role of caretaker, mentor, or provider, but don't forget, you can't pour from an empty cup. Your future self is urging you to set boundaries that support your own stability, not just everyone else's. You've done the inner work to attract something powerful. Now the invitation is to receive it fully, without guilt, without overextending, and without shrinking to keep others comfortable. So what's the opportunity you're attracting? Emotional authority, clear direction, and a sense of self-worth that finally manifests into something real. You're not just stepping forward, you're stepping into ownership. So that's what I'm getting for pile 3. If this resonated for you, please let me know in the comments, and of course, like and subscribe. See you next time.